Pepsi Max.
Oh, mate, I've not got any tonight.
What's that all about?
Again, that's shocking.
It was a quick break down the right, past the player who was miles offside. Say that again. Start again. It was a quick break down the right-hand side. See, when I try and write in shorthand and I phone back, I can't remember what I fucking put.
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.
Manchester, brace yourself. Rangers are coming!
Hi everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the iReady podcast. As ever, I'm your host Derek, and with me, back from his holidays, is my co-host Dave. How are you doing, Dave?
Oh, Derek, back to reality with a bang, mate. That's all I can say. I've left the glorious Florida sunshine and I'm now back, ready to go back to work, and I am depressed as hell, mate.
Boo-hoo. Yes, I hope you had certainly a good holiday. I was manning the fort here and putting out tweets and putting out podcasts when I can in terms of match updates. So we're back to reality now, as you said. We've got 3 games to cover. We nearly never made it tonight. It would have been, we would have had 6 games to cover if Dave had his way doing it next week. But certainly we managed to scramble together tonight and get a podcast out.
We certainly do, Derek. And the only thing is, Derek, I am going on your match commentary and analysis for certainly the last 2 games, because basically all I saw was the goals, which people had basically retweeted and things like that. So I can't really tell you much about the games at all. Certainly the Hearts game was actually when I was travelling, so I completely missed that. And then again, we were basically getting ready to leave our resort during the Hamilton game. So I couldn't tell you anything about the matches. So I'm going to leave that up to you just to tell me exactly what went on.
God help us all.
Exactly.
So we'll go down the tunnel and onto the pitch. So, as I said, 3 games to cover. The first game was Thursday the 4th of October. It was a 3-1 win at home against Rapid Vienna in the Europa League Game 2. So we lined up McGregor, Tavernier, Worrell, Goldson, Flanagan, Koulibaly, Arfield, Ejaria, Candeas, Kent and Morelos. On the subs bench we had Foderingham, Katic, Halliday, Barisic, Grezda, Middleton and Lafferty. So a fairly strong team, you would say, wouldn't you?
Certainly, yeah. It's maybe Worrell being in there was a bit of a shocker to us. We didn't know if there was something wrong with Katic at the point, at that point in the game or whatever, because I think Katic was on the bench. Derek, is that right?
That's
so
right,
it was a bit of a strange one there, but certainly, as you'll get into, it was actually worked out all right for us.
Yeah, worked out more than all right, didn't it?
Yep.
So, yeah, we started off the first 20 minutes quite brightly. We were harrying them, we were getting in their faces. A lot of poor distribution from Rapid Vienna, mind you. Our touch was quite heavy in the final third, but we were knocking about well from kind of back to midfield. There was a lovely ball around the 4th minute from Kent up to Morelos on the left. All he had to do was look up, and Arfield it was in acres of space. He had got to the edge of the box in the middle, but he didn't look up and he passed it backwards instead. But it was a threatening move, and certainly we're getting in the right positions.
Yes.
21st minute, long ball up by Rapid, up to the left of our defence, knocked back, and then ball floated back into the centre of the box on the left hand side. The attacker got the header to the ball, tried to flick it into the net, but it went wide. 27th minute, there was a switch of play from Arfield to Kent on the left. There was a step over, a great cross into the middle of the box. However, the defender gets in there first before Morelos, and he got the ball away. Morelos and the defender seemed to have a clash of heads, resulting in the Rapid player getting a quite a bad, nasty cut on his head, and he ended up being subbed just after. So Morelos using his head to good use there, wasn't he? 33rd minute was a corner whipped in. The keeper does enough to put Morelos off, and Morelos puts it out for a goal kick. 39th minute, Tavernier floats a free kick from the right deep into the far side. Morelos got his head to it. He heads it down, but right at the keeper, made a comfortable save. And we went 1-0 down, unfortunately, on the 41st minute. It was a quick break down the right. He passed the player who was miles offside. Nothing given, despite the linesman being right in front of it. He was only a matter of yards away from it. He got to the touchline, cut it back. Koulibaly slides in, touches the ball just before the attacker shoots. The ball goes right to the unmarked Rapid player on the left-hand side of the box, who shoots it back into the back of the net. Really disappointing, but unbelievable linesman from there. It was just incredible. It couldn't have been any clearer, and right in front of him.
Yeah, it was blatantly offside, Derek, and then really Koulibaly really unlucky, because it was actually a really good sort of blocking tackle that he made in the first instance, but unfortunately for him, he just kind of deflected it straight to another one of the players who was unmarked and really couldn't miss. But again, Derek, as you say, should never have stood in the first place, as it was miles offside.
Yep, I think there was even the second player that got passed to after that was offside as well, and there was a foul leading up to it, if I can remember right as well.
That's right, yep.
Yeah, so just unbelievable linesmen and refereeing there. Just, who needs Scottish referees when you've got European referees?
Exactly, I know.
But we did make up for it 2 minutes later. As I keep saying, you're not more vulnerable. You're more... What's the word to say?
Oh, I see this, Derek. This is your favourite football scene these days.
You're never more vulnerable just after you've scored. And once again, it worked in our favour this time. Morelos got the goal in the 43rd minute to draw level. Kent got the ball on the edge of the box in the middle. Great vision and passes out wide to Tavernier, who plays a great cross in. Morelos slides in and puts the ball in the back of the net. Outstanding goal and an outstanding move, and a brilliant reaction as well from going 1-0 down a couple of minutes beforehand.
Yeah, it was excellent. I think maybe, certainly the support and the players felt rather aggrieved by the decision, for that first goal. So they were well up for it, as you say. Fantastic move, great play and fantastic execution by Morelos there. He's been absolutely outstanding. He was again in this game. Yep.
So going into half-time, kind of fairly buoyed by that. It wasn't a bad half by any means. I felt we held our own, and we certainly more than matched them, and were quite unlucky, I think. As I said, just overhitting things in the final third. So into half-time, we absolutely blew them away this half.
Yep.
That was some of the best football we've seen so far this season. It's just that's the kind of, once again, we're resetting benchmarks with that performance. 56th minute, great play by Kent, getting the ball near to the edge of the box on the centre, took the ball into the box, dragging 3 players with him, puts in a cross, but keeper got the ball first, but a great move all round. 63rd minute, 20-yard free kick on the left, floated into the box from Tavernier. A defender got there first and put it out for the corner before Arfield could get the ball, so we're getting closer ever still. 67th minute, quick move up the park with the ball being played down the right. Lovely ball floated into the box by Tavernier. Ejaria headed the ball, or it might have actually been off his shoulder from about 7 yards, and forces a great save from the keeper.
Yeah, it was a great move, as you say. I think it was more his shoulder that he got, Derek. I think if he'd have got an actual direct header on it, he'd have burst the net, but unfortunately he didn't.
Yep. 80th minute, there's a quick play up front with Tavernier crossing the ball on the deck from the right. Ball flicks up, eventually settles to Morelos on the edge of the box, who had a standing shot and into the arms of the keeper. It was a good, fairly decent chance, that one. 82nd minute, great ball played into the box from Ejaria to Morelos. Morelos clearly taken out, and the penalty was given.
Yes, no, it was clear penalty, Derek. At that stage of the game, I know there was quite a lot of people said that they were thinking it wasn't going to be one of your days, but I had the way that we were playing, moving forward, winning the ball, I just had a feeling that we were going to get the breakthrough. And as you say, Morelos was brought down, clear penalty, and it was the chance for us to go 2-1 up.
Yep, and quickly becoming the new penalty king, Tavernier steps up and coolly slots it home. Brilliant.
Yep, yeah, I know, and as you say, Derek, you used that word there. Cool as a cucumber, wasn't he? Under all that pressure, it'd been building, and as you say, there was just absolutely no problems with him at all. He slotted it away. That's what we like to see.
Yes. 89th minute, Kent came off and Halliday came on, and we rounded out the night with an outstanding goal on the 93rd minute by Morelos. It was a long ball cleared from our defence. I think it was even Candias who actually done the clearance in the first place. The ball kind of bounced a couple of times, got to the Rapid player and around the halfway line. He had a bad kind of first touch, and he was kind of sleeping, and Candias had made a quick run all the way up to that point. He tackled him, got the loose ball. He was facing his back towards the opposing goal, and an outrageous back heel to Morelos, who took the ball forward. No defenders in sight. He had to beat the keeper, which he done, and it trundled over the line. Outstanding goal, and outrageous from Candias, wasn't it?
Derek, we'll be talking about that goal for a long time, I think. It was just the fact, Candias, as you say, winning the ball back on the halfway line. He could just see Morelos steaming past him, and he played that back heel, and it wasn't just a normal back heel. He had to put some power and accuracy on the back heel to make sure, and it was like a perfect through ball, wasn't it? I mean, it was just absolutely sensational. And Morelos, again, the way that he's playing it at the moment, Derek, he just, he strode through, sidestepped the goalkeeper, fired it in. It was a fantastic goal and just a great performance all round, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the last thing in the match was Morelos came off just a minute later, and Middleton came on for the last few seconds. So that left us top in the group. We're on 4 points with Rapid Vienna on 3, Villarreal on 2 and Spartak on 1. That was an outrageous game as well from Villarreal Spartak in the other fixture that night as well, because it ended up 3 each with Spartak were winning 3-2 within the last couple of minutes, and Villarreal pulled a goal back. So crazy game, and we've got a mental game coming up, I think, on Thursday, but we'll get into that shortly.
Yep.
So, I think one of the big things that happened with the Livingston game was obviously we made all these changes, and I think he learned from his mistakes, because in the next game against Hearts, it was an unchanged side, I believe. It was Sunday the 7th of October at home to Hearts, and we won 3-1 in a first half that was outstanding, certainly the first 30 minutes, wasn't it?
Well, you tell me, Derek.
Right enough, you don't know, do you?
I was flying over the Atlantic at that point, as I say, and I only got your brief updates when you were texting me when I got into Orlando Airport to see the score, and also just the goals on YouTube, so I'll let you get into it. Yep.
The second minute of the game, we went 1-0 up with Ryan Kent scoring. It was a long ball to Morelos from a free kick into the box. Hearts defence pushed up, trying to play the offside trap. Morelos got the ball, passed to Kent, and he hits it into the open net. It was a very strange one. Goldson was offside when the ball was actually kicked. However, he walked back and put his arms up and made no attempt to go for the ball at all. And Morelos was not in an offside position when he got the ball, and unbelievably, Kent had made up some amount of pace when the ball was initially passed. He looked in an offside position, but you look back in the replay, there was no way he was offside because he came from behind, and all he had to do was hit it in open net. Outrageous goal, and I think Hearts had tried that move before with previous teams, and it had worked, but it was a strange one because that literally the whole team stopped for Hearts. They thought that the whistle was going to be blown, and it never. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen.
But we really didn't care.
No, we don't really. Just after that, McGregor had a really great save, and on the 3rd minute, and then once again on the 5th minute. So 2 vital saves, with back-to-back saves just after we went 1-0 up. So again, vulnerable just after we scored, but certainly that's what the difference between having a good keeper in Foderingham and a great keeper, McGregor. In the 8th minute, there was a good move in the Hearts box, resulting in Flanagan having a good shot on the left-hand side of the box, making the keeper pull off a great save. And shortly after, on the 12th minute, we went 2-0 up with Morelos getting the goal. Candias robs the ball from the Hearts defender on the right-hand side of the box, plays a superb cross with Morelos, doing a backheel flick into the back of the net. Absolutely sublime finish, and outstanding from Candias getting the ball in the first place. That was just outstanding, wasn't it?
That goal is just incredible again, Derek. I mean, just even to have the confidence to try something like that, and for it to come off so spectacularly as well. It was top drawer, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
Yep. 22nd minute was great defending, smothering the Hearts attack and getting the ball out of the box. It was a quick break down the park with Koulibaly playing it to Kent in the box, getting a shot off and making the keeper pull off another good save. And we rounded out the half an hour in the 31st minute with going 3-0 up with Arfield getting the goal. It was a long deep ball from Candeas on the right, looked as if it was going out. Morelos was at the back post, who heads it down, falls into the path of Arfield, who really just had to knock it past the keeper. Another great goal.
Fantastic, yep. As you say, close range, but again, that sort of never say die sort of attitude by Morelos, fighting for a ball that I think everybody thought was maybe going out, and getting onto it, and Hearts totally dumbstruck at that point. I didn't think they knew exactly what to do, because they hadn't been in this position this season, had they? So, absolutely brilliant.
Yep, and rounding out the half, 36th minute, there was a great cross from Tavernier on the right. Arfield with a volley in the box, but goes wide. It was a great move and a great idea. So, half-time, we were absolutely amazed by how good we were. That was another marker set down for the league this time, and we were just outstanding. As you said, Hearts hadn't came up against this year. It was somebody just going right at them, right from the off, and that was an intense amount of pressure we put on Hearts, and the way we played, we were just running at everything. We weren't giving them a single minute, and it was outstanding to see. Really, really pleasing on the eye as well.
Yep.
So into the next half, we thought, could this be a cricket score? And unfortunately, it never really kind of panned out that way. We kind of taken our foot off the gas. I think we're 3-0 up. You might think, well, we've got a lot of games coming up, and players need rests, and we've just had a tough game on the Thursday just there. So maybe by rights we're quite right. Anyway, the 52nd minute, Candeas plays a great cross from the right high into the box. Morelos got a skiff of a header to it, and Goldson volleys the ball from 6 yards but went over the bar. And on the 54th minute, there was a red for Hearts player Michael Smith, I think it was. He was already on a yellow card. He wasn't looking at the ball and went straight for Flanagan on the edge of the box, taking him out. Just ludicrous. It was, that's where you get the sense in some players are they've got none, considering he was already on a yellow. But benefited us. 57th minute, Kent took the ball on a run from the left wing, starts cutting in, hits a shot on the edge of the box into the middle, but the keeper comfortably saves. 61st minute, it was a great move down the right, passing Hearts players, resulting in Arfield crossing the ball on the deck. It went just behind Morelos and out for the goal kick, but it was a good move nonetheless. 64th minute, another outstanding move with great skill, with around 20 odd passes, ending in Tavernier getting the ball in the box, having a shot, but saved from the keeper. 66th minute, Ajaria came off and Ryan Jack came on. On the 66th minute, though, Hearts pulled a goal back. It was a long ball floated deep into our box. Hearts defender somehow managed to get his head to the ball into the back of the net. There was a couple of players that were actually tight on him, I think, and it was just really poor defending, allowing him to get in that position. But once again, it's another long ball floated up into over our defence, and we just couldn't deal with it. That's several times this year. This season so far, we've not been able to deal with a ball like that, which is a bit concerning, because it was a feature in the Hamilton game as well. Yeah. 76th minute, there's a corner in from the left. Jack flicks the ball and forcing the keeper to make a good save off the line. It was right at him, right at the keeper, but the keeper still had to be alert, so it was a good chance. 79th minute, a wee bit of worrying again. It was Goldson kind of fanning about with the ball from the kick out. Hearts ended up getting the ball and having a shot on the edge of the box, forcing a good save from McGregor. Going 3-2 at that stage would have been really worrying, and I've noticed Goldson sometimes he seems to lose concentration when we're kind of comfortable, and it then it makes the mistake, and it's making these other players like McGregor clear up for him, which needs to be working his concentration that way. 83rd minute, Arfield came off, Halliday came on. 86th minute, Candeas came off, Lafferty came on. 91st minute, Morelos gets the ball in the box, cuts it back, has a shot over the bar. 94th minute, Hearts free kick from 25 yards over the bar. Whistle was blown as right after that, because the game was over. So certainly we kind of controlled the game, certainly, but we did take our foot off the gas. So we would have liked to go for the jugular and just really leave them in the dirt, but an outstanding win nonetheless.
Sounds like a very exceptional first half, Derek, and then as you say, they've basically slowed things down a bit in the second half and things like that. But as you say, it would have been nice for them to went out and even got the fourth goal, but still a fantastic win against a team who has been, as the benchmark so far this season, and Hearts, who, let's be honest, have been outstanding, and apart from that game of won other matches, so a fantastic result.
Yep, so can't argue with that.
No.
Next game and last game I've got to cover is Sunday the 21st of October. It was a 4-1 win away against Hamilton, and Dave looks emphatic, but you never missed anything at all, and 4-1 completely flatters us, actually.
Okay.
So we lined up, there was a couple of changes in this game. McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Katic back in, Halliday, Rossiter, Koulibaly, Ejaria, Candeas, Kent and Morelos. On the subs bench we had Foderingham, Worrell, Middleton, McCrory, Grejda and Sadiq. There's not really a lot to talk about in this game. We kind of controlled the first half with no really doing anything, to be honest. It was just a non-event of a game, to be honest.
Okay.
13th minute was good link-up play with Candeas to Morelos and back again, ending Candeas having a shot from 25 yards, not far wide of the post. 22nd minute, there was a claim for a penalty for Hamilton with Tavernier and the attacker holding on to each other in the box when turning at the touchline. The Hamilton player went down. There was hardly any claims from the Hamilton players, to be honest. Pundits the next day and other fans claiming it was a stonewall penalty. Never in a million years.
Okay.
We'll get on to the penalties and what other fans think in a minute. But 30th minute, there was a good move starting on the right, ending with Ejaria having a good shot from 25 yards, forcing a good save from the keeper out for the corner. Ejaria slipped when he hit the ball as well, so if he had maybe stayed on his feet, it might have been even better.
Okay.
But anyway, 39th minute, we went 1-0 up with Ryan Kent scoring. Koulibaly wins the ball at the halfway line, flicks the ball with the outside of his foot when he's facing backwards. It was a great piece of skill. Goes to Morelos. Morelos plays another outstanding ball to Kent, and all he had to do was run onto the ball. Didn't even need to take a touch apart from the one that he hit to dink it over and past the keeper. Brilliant goal, superb vision all round, and that was really, I think, the first main, well, obviously apart from the Ejaria chance 9 minutes earlier, first main chance of the game for either team, really.
I seen the goal, Derek. It was fantastic play, as you say, with Koulibaly winning the ball and then a very quick Rangers break, and again Alfredo Morelos, who gets a hell of a lot of stick still from the mainstream media. It was him again, the vision and the pass through for Ryan Kent to run on to, and the finish with Kent was top drawer, Derek, wasn't it? As you say, never even had to take a touch to control, and he knew what he was doing straight away, hit it right over the goalkeeper and into the net. It was a fantastic goal.
Yep. So if we went into the half time at 1-0, you've got to say content with being 1-0 up. We had never really done much, neither did Hamilton, to be honest. A non-event of a game, we just couldn't link up at all. I think once again we played within ourselves and allowed Hamilton to just come at us when they wanted. We weren't closing them down often enough, and that intensity just wasn't there, and a bit disappointing considering they had the 2 weeks off. So I know some of them had international duty, but still no really any excuse for the way we were playing. Anyway, second half was much the same up until the last 10 minutes, really. Really non-event of a second half. 61st minute was a lovely move, ending in Ejaria getting the ball into the box on the left, cuts inside, drops the shoulder and has a shot, forcing the keeper to make a great save out for the corner. 76th minute was a long ball knocked up towards our defence. Hamilton player gets the ball from our two defenders, hits a shot, McGregor saves, comes back out to the Hamilton player who shoots it wide. Once again, as I said in the last game, we cannot deal with a simple long ball knocked high up over the top of our defence. It's something that we've been caught out time and time again, and it's had to have McGregor making saves, which isn't good enough, especially when you've got Goldson there. He's a good at mopping up things like that, so needs to be more aware.
Yes.
78th minute, Katic came off and Worrell came on, and I don't know if that was maybe the catalyst that allowed Hamilton to pull a goal back in the 80th minute, and I don't think many of us were surprised because we allowed them to come at us and we sat off, and we invited it effectively, and it was a cracking goal, mind you. We never seem to lose just silly tap-ins. It's always worldies, isn't it? So it was Boyd, a player called Boyd, who had only just come on 2 minutes previously for Hamilton, gets the ball down on the right, puts a half-hearted cross in. It was headed away, but it came right back to him, took the ball into more to the centre position. Our defenders backed off, allowed them to have a shot from 20 yards, and it went right high into the opposite end of the corner. McGregor had no chance, can't even blame him at all, but the defence was shocking in terms of not closing him down and allowing him to have that time to get the shot off in the first place. And I think we've lost a few goals like that now where the defence has not closed them down quick enough and allowed them to have these long worldy shots. So
I don't know if it's it's maybe the absence of a more defensive midfielder in there, Derek, to stop these kind of shots for coming off, whether it's when we're missing sort of Ryan Jack or whatever, but Jordan Rossiter was playing, Derek, wasn't he? And it's you would be expecting him to be playing in that position to sort of break the play up and things like that, but unfortunately it didn't happen. And I seen the goal, it was absolutely top drawer, wasn't it? I mean, It was right in the top corner. He couldn't have hit it any better. As you say, McGregor no chance, but pretty disappointing that we've not didn't have anybody in there to break the play up and stop him from even getting the chance to shoot, wasn't it?
Yeah, disappointing. And obviously on the note you made about Rossiter, he's coming back obviously after another long layoff, and just I don't know if that was the best game he could have played him in. There's obviously a lot of things about AstroTurf pitches and all that, and this was maybe one of the better ones, but I think there was another player that was left out for because it was an AstroTurf park, so maybe not the right choice. He never had the greatest of games, but a lot of players never had the greatest of games, and I think Katic was really disappointing in this game. That's maybe the reason why he came off, and he was... Do
you put the performance up to that point, Derek, being a lot of it being down to the playing surface?
Well, I put out on Twitter after the game is... I think a lot of the players must be wary of it, because I just fail to believe that they are shiting it at going away, because we have played well away sometimes on AstroTurf parks. Funnily enough, we played great against Kilmarnock, AstroTurf Park, one of the worst ones as well. We've been away to Villarreal, played brilliant. We've been away in Europe, we've been playing brilliant. So I don't understand what it is. All I can think of is the fact that they are maybe wary about it, obviously after seeing... was it Arfield going out injured? So
yeah,
I don't know, but it's something that we need. Hopefully, this gives us the wee confidence boost. But we can go away to these places where teams are going to close us down. Yep. Teams are going to shut up shop and play 11 behind the ball. So. Anyway, we needed some character. We kind of thought, here we go, once again we're going to lose points needlessly at away, and we're still going to have this hoodoo, but the character of the team showed through, and we got our just desserts. 81st minute, Rossiter came off and Grezda came on. 82nd minute, there was a penalty given to us for handball. A lot of people, on the pundits, saying, no, it was a soft penalty, but it was a stick on for me. Tried to control it with his chest, completely misjudged it, and it hit his arm, and it kind of rolled down his arm as well.
It kind of looked, Derek, when I say like again, I can only go by what I've seen on social media, but it kind of looked as if he could actually have grabbed the ball between his arm and his bicep, if you know what I mean. So it was clear that it was on his arm, and he used his arm to control it, clear as day. So I mean, there can be absolutely no arguments about that. But I heard that a certain pundit on Sky Sports, who used to play for Celtic up front by the name of Andy Walker, was apparently going absolutely mental when that went in. So that makes it even more sweeter, Derek, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So up steps again, penalty king Tavernier, and slots it away brilliantly. Just another great penalty from him
again, and the pressure at that point as well, Derek, is with 8 minutes to go, the chance for us to take all 3 points. Again, cool as a cucumber, wasn't it?
Yep, absolutely. So 2-1, we thought that's it, definitely points confirmed now, and we ended up confirming them even more. 85th minute was a penalty given when Morelos goes down in the box. Morelos got the wrong side of the defender in the box. They were going away from the goal. Certainly was clipped, potentially accidentally. The defender's arms did come across him as well, and Morelos cutely goes down. I thought it was soft, to be honest. A lot of people saying it was a stick on. The usual suspects, some in the media, a lot of opposition fans going absolutely apoplectic, saying, Masonic conspiracy once again. I can't believe they've given 2 penalties. It's honestly hilarious the way they're going. It really is. There was one guy that started arguing with me on Twitter because he was just being an absolute dick. But I looked at his Twitter feed. There was more comments about the Rangers game throughout the game than I don't think he even put any comments about the Celtic game, the team he supported, the previous day. These folk are just absolutely mental. 55 will kill them. It really will.
I know, it really will. There will be a lot of spontaneous combustion, going on at that point, because they will be so enraged. It's unbelievable. And again, Derek, we've went on about this before. Fans out there who want to hate our club more than support their own club is just incredible. And any other country in the world, they wouldn't actually believe it if you were to tell them some of the stories that we've heard. But it's incredible, and it just makes things even more sweeter, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So up steps Tavernier again. I initially thought, and I think a lot of people thought this, they thought the keeper had saved it, but it was hit with such pace straight down the middle. It actually bounced off the net, off the advertising board and out of the back, and then back out. So a bit of optical illusion there, but a great penalty again. And has he missed a penalty yet? I don't think he has he?
No, he's not. Not. Oh, Derek, I hope you've no jinxed it.
That's what my dad says. He says there'll come a time it will be in the most important penalty ever. It'll be the UEFA Cup final or something like that, and he'll fucking miss it.
see if that happens, that's your feather he's for. I'll never speak to him ever again if that ever happens. But no, as cool as a cucumber, Derek stepped up. I think it was there wasn't as much pressure on him in that penalty as there was in the first one, and as you say, that just confirmed the 3 points at that stage, didn't it?
Well, no, it never, because we ended up going 4-1 up. Kent came off just after the goal and McCrory came on, but we went 4-1 up, and Morelos got this goal. Quick break down the right hand side, passed into the middle to Candeas on the edge of the box. Keeper slides in to get the ball. He got the ball, but he put it straight into the path of Morelos, who ended up just having to round the keeper and shoot it home. Brilliant to round out the game, and completely flattered us, absolutely, but he certainly gets the goal difference up as well. And I loved some of the fans saying that Andrew Dallas, the referee, dug us out of a hole. Well, if it's a penalty, it's a penalty. He's got to give. And in fairness, it was actually quite brave of him to give 2 penalties within 2 minutes each other. There's very few referees would do that. That's what happens when you're in the lodge, isn't it?
Oh, Derek, the first one was as stonewall a penalty as you could get. Like I said, it actually looked as if he could have cupped the ball in his arm, because it hit his arm twice in the space of a second. So it was as clear as day that he used his arm to control it. So anybody saying that that's no the case, or needing to go and get their eyes checked, because it was definitely a penalty. Yep. But as I say, I can't comment on the rest of the match, Derek. I only saw the scoreline, so going by what you've said, it wasn't a particularly great performance, but we will take the win, we will take the goals, we will take the 3 points, and most importantly, the away win, as you say, maybe a wee monkey off their back, because I think that's the first time that we've won away from home since February, I heard, which is absolutely shocking. So here's hoping that has now took the pressure off them and they can go out, because we know that they can play a hell of a lot better than that. And the fact that, as you say, they didn't play particularly well but still managed to win 4-1 is a fantastic sign. So
absolutely,
here's hoping they can keep it up.
Yep. So in the league, we've played 9, won 5, drawn 2, lost 2, scored 22, conceded 9, goal difference plus 13 and points 17. We're joint 5th with Hibs just now. We are above them slightly because of the goal difference. We're 1 point behind Livingston, who are having an outrageous season so far. 2 points behind Celtic and Killie, who Killie obviously having another good season. Hearts having a great season, as you've said before. We're 5 behind them, and we're 5 points of Aberdeen, who we'll get on to in a minute.
Derek, you know how I hate to correct you.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it again, unfortunately, with the league tables, because you probably weren't aware that Hearts have just won 3-0 this evening against Dundee. So they are now a game ahead of us, and they are 8 points clear of us at the moment with a goal difference of 12. So Hearts definitely applying the pressure at the top of the league, and as I say there, that'll be them 6 points above Celtic also. So Hearts absolutely flying at the moment. So it just shows you that result a couple of weeks ago was a fantastic result against them. Absolutely.
I mean, they've just had 2 of their top players go out injured for 5 months as well. They lost Lafferty, so they're doing outstanding. So certainly, if we're not going to win the league, I wouldn't be disheartened if Hearts won the league. So
that's true. But here's hoping we'll get to that, Derek, and we'll put a good run together and get back up to the top of the table. But well done, mate. That was a good summary of the matches there.
I mean, it's quite refreshing, I've got to say, in the league so far this year. I know it's still early days. The first round hasn't even been finished yet. Still 2 games to go. But you're talking, I think there's 6 points that cover the top 6, is it, or something like that? 5 points cover the top
That's
6.
Right,
so,
yeah.
So it's bloody good so far, and it's a good advert for the game anyway in Scottish football for a change. Again, I think that's partly down to the fact that both us and Celtic have faltered on occasion this year. So, but we'll see what happens.
Definitely.
So games to come, as I've said, we have got the next game of the Europa League on Thursday night. That's at 8 PM kickoff against Spartak Moscow at home. Now, the away fans for the Rapid game, the Spartak game and the Villarreal game, UEFA have got a rule apparently that they've got to get, the away fans have got to get 5% of the ground's total for their allocation of away fans. Rangers have asked for special dispensation from UEFA to reduce that to just over 1,000 for each team, citing obvious crowd issues that have happened obviously in the qualifiers and with the teams we've got to play with. Villarreal, they're known obviously with the Spanish police to have issues. Obviously Moscow, that speaks for itself. Rapid, I don't know if they had any issues, but they only got just over 1,000, I think. So that's an interesting one there.
Okay.
Yep. So we've got that game on Thursday night. The next game is on Sunday the 28th of October at Hampden against Aberdeen in the League Cup semi-final, and that's a 16:30 kick-off. Now we'll move back to that in just a second. And the next game after that to round out October is Wednesday the 31st of October. That's away to Kilmarnock in the Premiership. That's a 19:45 kick-off. Okay. So Dave, obviously we talked about the semi-final beforehand. It was still undecided what was happening. Well, it was decided initially that the fact that 2 games would be played at Hampden on the same day. Obviously a big stooshy about that. How much of this did you pick up in Florida?
The fact that Celtic are now playing Hearts at Murrayfield and we are playing at Hampden, and both games will take place on the Sunday. Is that correct?
That's correct. Did you hear much about the stooshy that Aberdeen created over the whole thing?
Aberdeen initially wanted half the tickets but only managed to sell something like 5,000 or something like that. Is that correct? Just
about. Certainly they wanted a 50-50 split in the tickets. Now I have no issue with that with the semi-finals and finals. If there's a proven track record they can sell them. There's not with Aberdeen. That was always our argument. They got this 50-50 split like they wanted, and they proceeded to sell tickets for what are deemed the good seats at Hampden, which are obviously the ones on the not behind the goals. They were told not to, and they had only sold just over 9,000. This meant that unsold tickets could not be resold due to the segregation issues. There was going to be big gaps and thousands left without tickets. After many pleas from the Aberdeen board, even Derek McInnes getting on the social media pleading for the fans to take tickets, the SPFL have ultimately taken 6,000 tickets off Aberdeen and given them to us, and now resulting in us having 32,000 fans there, or tickets available. The excuses Aberdeen have used are incredible. Aberdeen fans have used incredible. They first said the game was too early at 12 o'clock kickoff. It's too late now that it's at a 4:30 kickoff. Oh, it's too late. The kids have got school in the morning. Oh, now Aberdeen are going to lose out on money on this because of unsold tickets, but more than that, all three other teams are going to lose money out of it as well, because the semi-final, it's a 4-way split of the gate money. So just unbelievable, the tin pot mentality of teams like this. And this is where the SPFL, the SFA need to take a stance on this and say, if you've not got a proven track record, you're not getting the tickets. If you want the 50-50 split, you pay for them up front. Simple as. I mean,
so what happens now then, Derek? If these tickets have been given out, if we've been given an extra, how many did you say? 6,000 tickets?
I think so. It's round about that, because it takes us up to 32,000 now.
So I take it we will now be getting the whole of the Rangers end, the whole of the stand across for the main stand, and the most of the, which traditionally known as the Celtic end. Is that how it's going to work out now, I take it? And all the Aberdeen fans are basically in their sort of half of the main stand, plus a wee bit behind the goals. Is that what's happened?
Quite possibly, because certainly those that had bought tickets in areas that could have been used for Rangers fans are actually getting contacted by the SPFL.
That's fine,
and
right?
getting told, you're moving. So
you're moving. No, that's fine then. Okay.
So Aberdeen, in effect, just for their own stupidity, have actually just shafted their own fans there. So
yes.
Fuck
well, that's fine. Yep. No, definitely. And as you say, Derek, if we're going to have 32,000 fans there, that's absolutely fantastic. It's great for us. It's great for the supporters as well, because we're wanting to be in a final again, aren't we? So here's hoping that we get a fantastic result. I still don't know what he's going to do striker wise, Derek. I don't know if he's maybe just going to play one of the wingers up front, because there's not been any sign of Sadiq playing, has there? So
he was on the bench the last game, and he has said he's improved in a press conference. So we'll need to wait and see. I can't obviously see him starting on Thursday night. It depends on how it's going. He might be on the bench and get a wee feature, but we'll just need to, as you said, wait and see.
Nah, it's a strange one. I think with the amount of wingers that we have, Derek, obviously we've got Grezda coming through, we've got Middleton, and we've got Kent. I think if it was me personally, I think I'd be maybe playing one of them up front, and going for it then. So certainly all got pace to cause problems, and hopefully beat the offside trap to get through. So we'll just have to wait and see. I honestly can't see Sadiq playing at all, Derek. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I don't think that we'll see him, as you say, maybe on the bench, but I honestly can't see it.
No. So we will now go into the classic match.
And then it is! The final whistle's gone! Rangers have won the European Cup Winners' Cup!
So Dave, what classic match do you got for us this week? You managed to get one done, didn't you?
I certainly did, mate, yes. I went going by the game that I missed, the game against Hearts at Ibrox. I thought I would go back and try and find a sort of similar match to that one, similar scoreline, and I almost got it. The game that I have picked took place on the 21st of October 1995, and Rangers lined up that day. A lot of familiar faces at Andy Gorham and goals. Now this is the strange one, Derek, because when I first seen this lineup, I honestly didn't know what formation that Walter Smith was playing at this day, and I'll explain why. So the Rangers team that day was Andy Gorham, Craig Moore, David Robertson, Richard Gough, Alan McLaren, Gordon Petrich, and Alec Cleland. Right, and then Paul Gascoigne, Oleg Zelenko, Gordon Jury, and Alexei Mikhailichenko. So on paper, Derek, we had 6 defenders, 2 midfielders, and 2 strikers playing that day. So that was back sort of at the day where Walter Smith liked to play his two attacking fullbacks, who were Alec Cleland and David Robertson on the left-hand side, which still left us with Moore, Gough, McLaren and Petric playing. But as I watched the game, I could see quite clearly that Alan McLaren was pushed further forward to sort of play in that defensive midfield role, with Paul Gascoigne and Mikhailichenko playing in midfield, Gordon Durie and Oleg Zelenko up front, with Durie being given that sort of free role to try and take up both wings if he could. So a bit of a strange Rangers team that day. Hearts on the day had a young goalkeeper in O'Connor, Gary Locke, Poynton-Berry, Dave McPherson, Jim Hamilton, Alan Johnston, Lawrence, John Robertson, the unacceptable face of Scottish football as Steve Fulton, and Miller up front for Hearts. So going back then, Derek, that was at a time, when we had the Adidas strips. Gazza was in his prime for us and he was absolutely outstanding in this match, and that was actually when the corners were being built. Did you notice that when you were watching the game, Derek? Yep. So straight away Rangers went on the offensive and we actually took the lead very early on the second minute.
It's Gascoigne. You can sense the buzz going around the ground as he picks up the ball. It's Gascoigne! And a wonderful goal! Oh, just under 2 minutes gone here at Ibrox Stadium, and Paul Gascoigne charges through the Hearts defence, and he picks his spot calmly away in the corner. And is he enjoying it? Well, great running by the midfielder, holding off the first challenge, running on and just picking his spot away in the corner, way beyond Gary O'Connor. So Paul Gascoigne gets his fourth goal of the season.
We're basically keeping a hold of the ball for about the first minute of the game, and Paul Gascoigne actually gets the ball in his own half and plays the ball to Gordon Petric. Petric holds onto the ball, Paul Gascoigne keeps on running, and Petric plays the ball back to Paul Gascoigne, who basically just runs right in the defence from deep inside the Hearts half, opens up his body and shoots a fantastic low curling shot into the bottom right hand corner to give Rangers a perfect lead. He looked in the mood, Gazza, right for kick-off. Absolutely fantastic goal, and Rangers go 1-0 up, sets us up for the game. Hearts really did nothing in this match apart that they had a long range shot for a free kick which was over the bar by John Robertson, but led to absolutely nothing. It was all Rangers. Another chance after that was a long cross for the right hand side from Alec Cleland to Oleg Zelenko. He headed it down to Gordon Durie, who was in the edge of the box, and he hits a sort of half volley shot just over the bar. That would have been a fantastic goal. Very unlucky there. Again, possession play by Rangers. Gazza to Gordon Durie in the box, who touches it back to Gazza on the edge of the box, who shoots again just over the bar. Gazza pulling all the strings. Then we really should have had a penalty at this point, because David Robertson runs into the box, blatantly pulled back by the Hearts defender. I actually think it was Dave McPherson. No foul given, Stonewall penalties, if ever I've seen one, didn't get it. But we didn't have to wait too much longer before we doubled our advantage. And on the 22nd minute...
McLaren, Zelenko. Touched by Zelenko, getting away from McPherson. Zelenko! And a tremendous finish by Oleg Zelenko. It's his second goal for Rangers. There are 26 minutes gone. It's now Rangers 2, Hearts 0. But a delightful first touch by Zelenko. He just stepped away from McPherson, then composed himself before drilling the ball beyond Gary O'Connor. Right in at the near post. The goalkeeper really should have done better.
Fantastic ball played up to Oleg Zelenko outside the box. His first touch was absolutely sublime. He totally took the Hearts defender out with his first touch, steps past him, takes the ball into the box, again does a sort of sidestep and shoots low into the near post. to make it 2-0 to Rangers. Maybe the young goalkeeper could have done better, but the possession play and the finish by Solenko was excellent. And this is what we were expecting from Oleg Solenko when we signed him. We were expecting play like this because he had a very good game in this game. Not long after that, Gordon Durie with a great run on the right wing and beats two players and shoots just wide. Like I said, Durie playing in a sort of free position to go from wherever he wanted up front, and very effective in this game. And then not long after that again, Alec Cleland with a long range shot after great play by Oleg Solenko, but it just went over the bar. Unfortunately for Rangers at that point, David Robertson got an injury. I think it was maybe a hamstring injury. He pulled up, basically said he couldn't carry on, and fans' favourite John Brown came on to replace him. And just after John Brown came on, Rangers scored their third goal.
The goal, Cleland, Helichenko. Here's a chance for Durie, and Gordon Durie absolutely buries the ball. 37 minutes gone. It's Rangers 3, Hearts 0. Good passing build-up by Rangers. Cleland getting the touch through to Helichenko. A little slip there by Cleland, but Durie was in the perfect position. So he picks up his 5th goal of the season, and Rangers lead by 3-0.
Absolutely fantastic play by Rangers. One touch play right through the midfield, and then at the edge of the box, one touch play again involving Alec Cleland to McLaren to Mikhailichenko, who had a low cross which was intended for Alec Cleland, but Cleland slipped at the last minute. But fortunately for us, the Gordon Durie was right behind him to fire the ball low past the goalkeeper and make it 3-0 to Rangers. Great build-up play by Rangers, especially with all the amount of defenders that we had in the team. You know, the play was absolutely fantastic. It was just all Rangers in that half, and Paul Gascoigne pulling all the strings. Absolutely sensational. And again, Derek, I keep saying it, having that amount of players who usually play in defence, for us to play such an attacking game shows you how good the likes of Paul Gascoigne, Gordon Durie and that were for us, because they were outstanding. Half time though, Rangers had to make a sub. Richard Gough got injured, so Ian Durrant came on, but thankfully, because of the amount of defenders we had on the park, we were able to keep the same formation basically. But the second half kicked off. Hearts really had to come out and try and do something. John Robertson with a long range chip shot just over the bar. And then Alexei Mikhailichenko, who'd been pretty quiet in the first half, gets the ball into the box, tries to take it on himself. He shoots and it's deflected out for the corner. From that corner, Ian Durrant takes it in. It finds Gazza on the penalty spot, who chests the ball down himself and hits a half volley just over the bar. It would have been spectacular if it had went in. Unfortunately for him, it didn't happen. But there, where we see the good in Paul Gascoigne, a couple of minutes later we've seen the bad, where he did a lot of mouthing to the referee over a decision that he gave, which involved him getting a yellow card. Hearts at this point trying everything but just can't get past the Rangers defence. It was going to have to be exceptional just even to get through to Andy Gorham, because the Rangers defence were just charging everything down. But like I said, it would have to be exceptional to get past the defence, and just a few minutes later, on the 80th minute, Hearts did score.
Well, it's Miller trying the shot, and it's a fine effort. Andy Gorham's not happy, but John Miller struck that one well. He was given the space and he took advantage with 80 minutes gone, so Hearts get something back. And the challenge went in there from Ian Durrant. Miller stepped away from him and then set the ball right into the top corner. Fine finish by him. It's his second goal of the season. It's Rangers 3, Hearts 1.
It was a long range effort straight into the top left corner, very similar to the goal that Hamilton scored into us a few days ago. But then Rangers were still going for it at this point, though. They didn't want to stop there. Gordon Durie raced onto a high ball on the left wing, beats the goalkeeper and lobbed the keeper, but unfortunately for him it was cleared just before it reached the goal line by Dave McPherson. But then Rangers did manage to get through on the 84th minute.
Steps away from Durie. Well, Craig Moore has toppled to the ground, and Alan Lawrence was involved in something there. And the crowd are reacting angrily. Craig Moore is on the ground, holding his face. Alan Lawrence was sprinting away from him. He fell to the ground. Here's a chance on for Solenko. And it's 4-1 to Rangers. It's a second goal for Solenko. And it'll be interesting to see what's happening. Well, Andy Gorham has come running from his line. Andy Gorham has been booked for running through towards the centre circle there. Well, it was Ian Durrant who played a delightful ball through to Solenko. And he placed it beyond the keeper. But at the other end, Andy Gorham had come running from his line to protest at what had happened to Craig Moore. It was missed by the referee and obviously missed by the two linesmen, but it did appear that Alan Lawrence struck the Rangers player. There's absolute bedlam here. Andy Gorham has been booked during all of that for his protest to the referee.
Ian Durrant this time with a through ball to Oleg Solenko. He stayed onside and hits a low shot past the goalkeeper to make it 4-1 to Rangers. And the only thing that happened after that, it was Alexei Mikhailichenko. He latched onto a through ball but shot just wide, showed a terrific burst of pace there, unfortunately for him just wide, and Rangers saw the game out 4-1. A fantastic result, and again I've said it for about the fourth time, that you play at such high tempo with guys who were all sort of central defenders mostly playing in the team. It showed you how well the likes of Paul Gascoigne and that played for us, because he was absolutely outstanding in that game. Can you remember much about that game, Derek? Did you enjoy watching it back?
I did, yeah. I can't remember anything about it, but enjoyed watching it back. Now, what we just witnessed there was 25% of the goals Oleg Solenko scored for Rangers. He only ever scored apparently 7 league goals and 1 League Cup goal. So that's your challenge for the next time. Get a classic match where he scores again.
Is that right? Oh my God, I think that's going to be a challenge, Derek, to be honest with you, because I'm trying to remember. He actually scored against Celtic, Oleg Solenko. I'm sure he scored in a 1-1 draw at Parkhead. I may be wrong, but he definitely scored against them. I'm going to have to look that up. But, at that stage, Derek, I think we all thought after, the World Cup, he was the guy that scored the 5 goals in a group game in the World Cup. Yep. And at that point, we were actually trying to sign a guy by the name of Florin Raducoiu. Have you heard of him before?
Yes, I have, yeah.
He was a Romanian striker who was playing out in Spain, and I think the deal fell through at the very last minute. And this was our sort of second choice of sort of international strikers he also had a fantastic pedigree, Derek, but unfortunately it just didn't work out for Solenko. What did show a lot of promise to start off with, just sort of petered out, unfortunately for us. But no, a fantastic game, a fantastic victory, and if you get the chance to go back, I would recommend you do, just to see Paul Gascoigne playing in his prime for us, because the man was a genius. Yep.
We'll get on to Gascoigne shortly. So, That's another classic match. So, Dave, as I said, Oleg Solenko, that's your next challenge.
So it might be a drab 1-1 game against Partick Thistle or something like that. Is that what you're looking for?
Yes. So, now we will go into the news. So quite a few things to cover here, and a couple of in-depth things as well. Okay. Obviously, we're still on about the fan zone. It seems to grow arms and legs. What's been leaked is a letter that Stuart Robertson wrote Glasgow City Council. It's been released, not by Rangers, I might add. It basically gave both barrels to whoever he was speaking to within Glasgow City Council. I think it was that Susan Aitken or something like that. Mm-hmm. Basically accusing them of lying, stating stating that there's evidence there that she's lying and they're lying, calls into question their integrity several times on several points. It was very well written and very, very very good to see. Over the piece, obviously the board have been accused of not backing the fans and not doing much for us when it comes to things like this, but I think when you see things like this, it's clear that the board are doing a lot behind the scenes that we don't see and we shouldn't actually see, because all this should be kept off radar. It's just in this constant 24-hour news cycle, the fact that everybody's got social media and think that they've got the right to know every single minute detail about something. We don't. So these things happen, they go on behind closed doors, but that was great to see, even though it wasn't Rangers that leaked that.
So what's the official word now, Derek? Is it still being given, are they still looking at giving it the go-ahead? Are they still up for it, for it going ahead? Because I think that's where I last heard that it had been, the decision had been changed and they were now going to be given consideration to it. Is that still the case?
I think so. That it's obviously going on in the background from what I'm led to believe, but it's one of these things. We'll wait and see whether it's going to be within the kind of ground outside Ibrox, or if we're going to redevelop, part of the car park area. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Now, I'm pretty sure you've heard of this. Kyle Lafferty, the whole saga with Kyle Lafferty.
Is this with regards to Northern Ireland?
Yes.
Okay, on you go.
So obviously he pulled out the Northern Ireland squad citing injury. The Northern Ireland FA have invoked the 5-day rule, which, if I've got it right, I think is that if you play for your club within 5 days of pulling out of your national squad, then the FA reserve the right to ban you from your next game.
Okay.
So I think that's a FIFA initiative try to put more weight on internationals, which is ludicrous, to be honest. But we are effectively the ones that were punished with that through nothing to do with it ourselves. Lafferty, Northern Irish FA and Rangers have had talks apparently, and we've accepted it. From the presser that Gerrard gave, it looks as if he wasn't too happy with Lafferty, and we've taken it on the chin that way. Mm-hmm. However, during that, and obviously over the last couple of days, the story broke that he's allegedly been sending dick pics on Snapchat to a random.
Right, this is one that I didn't know, Derek, so please explain. There's
apparently he's been sending questionable pictures on Snapchat to some random girl or woman he met. All I can say is that Lafferty's got an alleged history of playing the field, shall we say. I think he's came out and denied it, but Just when you think Lafferty's screwing the nut, he's getting a second chance. It'll be the last big club he ever plays for, or the only big club he really ever plays for. And he's, playing this with the FA, and then now this allegation comes out. So it's not looking good, is it?
No, certainly. I honestly didn't know anything about the second thing there, Derek. I would like to think the fact that we now have a manager in Steven Gerrard, that this will be dealt with very quickly, and he'll be punished appropriately for doing this. But as you say, this is the good and the bad. Kyle Lafferty, we've had the good. It looked as if he was coming back. He was the more experienced player, but that was just the fear that we all had, didn't we? That he was a bit of a tube off the field, and if this is true, then again it's just another thing that we've got to deal with him. And I really do hope that it gets dealt with very quickly and he goes to being quiet again, because we certainly do need him, and he is a player who get great experience in that to have. But as you say, we just don't want him to spoil it, do we? So no. It's very disappointing.
Yep. Next thing here is just absolutely disgusting with this. I'm guessing you've probably heard about this. The SFA had announced that Gazza was going to be inducted into the Scottish Hall of Fame. Then, after a handful of SFA members threatened to boycott the dinner due to him being inducted, they withdrew their nomination and issued an absolute disgraceful statement, citing numerous issues with Gazza, ongoing issues and the state of his health. Ultimately, they knew about his past issues. They knew about his current issues with ongoing court cases, but then to cite his mental health issues is absolutely despicable. It opens him up to discrimination accusations, quite rightly so. they've stated that the door is open for him to be inducted next year, but he's basically more or less told them to fuck off.
Yep.
And issued a small statement saying that he's only he's already in one Hall of Fame, the only one that matters, and that was the Rangers one. Then he done a cheeky tweet to the SFA with his goal, with his outstanding goal against Scotland in Euro 96, and basically saying, I don't blame you after that. But absolutely, I'm just disgusted with it. I'm still livid with it, and it's been like 2 weeks going, and do we know,
Derek? Sorry, do we know anything about the people who made the initial complaint saying that they were going to withdraw? Do we know who that was, or the reasons why that they put the complaint in about Paul Gascoigne? Do we know anything like that?
Well, obviously, you can only imagine it's due to his past alcoholism, his mental health issues, and obviously his wife beating that happened with him as well. Now, if you want to be the moral arbiter of people who are getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, then I think you need to look at the current Hall of Fame with some of the people that are on it just now. Certainly their pasts aren't rosy, and they're on it, but nothing was said at the time. So all you can think of, all that really leads you to think of, is the fact that he's English and he played for Rangers. If you're going to start being, get on your moral high ground about what he's done in his past, he was outstanding in Scotland. We possibly got the best of him. Yes, he was. Well, the whole point is that people have tried to say that, he was only here for 2.5 years. There are people in that Hall of Fame that never played a game of football in Scotland in their professional career. There are other people as commentators, I think, in that Hall of Fame as well. They never played football. So your reasoning there. So as I said, you can only deduct that it's the fact that he's English and he played for Rangers. Because to cite his mental health issues is absolutely disgraceful.
At the time that he signed for Rangers, Derek, he was arguably the most famous player in the world at that point, and the fact that he signed for us was absolutely incredible. What he brought to the Scottish game by way of worldwide interest was phenomenal. The performances that he put in for us both in Scotland, like I summarised there in that game against Hearts, and playing in Europe, he was absolutely fantastic. And I think for me, I am more annoyed that there are, certain people who are, going to withdraw, from going to the dinner. I think if the powers that be had the balls, they would have said, well, tough, that's the decision that we've made, and you can go, and it would, you can no turn up, and that would have let us know exactly who it was that made the complaint about him. Because as you say, Derek, it sounds to me like sour grapes, I think, and by a lot of people that just don't like your club or anything to do with it. And for you to, as you say, to cite his mental health problems, I mean, that is just pure discrimination, isn't it? And grounds for all sorts. But as you say, I'm glad that Paul Gascoigne has came out and said that he's only interested in being in one Hall of Fame, and that's ours, and that puts another big 2 fingers up to them. So well played, Gazza, and absolutely shameful in the powers that be, isn't it?
Yep. I mean, the certain media types like Hugh Keevins have came out and said, well, it's not actually the SFA that do it, it's the Scottish Football Museum people that deal with the Hall of Fame. No, the SFA have a major part in that as well. And apparently, according to some sources, that Mike Mulroney of Alloa and Neil Cameron, the journalist, have had a major influence in this as well, because I think they maybe, I don't know if they actually sit on the Hall of Fame board or what have you, but they were apparently 2 of the biggest objectors. Now, Neil Cameron wrote an absolutely disgraceful, hatchet job piece of an article on Gazza. He's since tried to defend it and try to backpedal what he's actually meant in it, but right from the first line, he was out to get Gazza straight away with it, and he showed he kind of showed what a snake he was, maybe about 6 months ago, and I called him out in it, and he never really had an answer for it. I always thought he was one of the decent people, but certainly over the last 6 months to a year, he's become an absolute twat. I have no time for him whatsoever. And when it comes to journalists on our Twitter, if I don't like them, I'll just mute them, or I'll just unfollow them. I don't follow them at all. That's the first journalist I've had to actually block on their Twitter, because I just cannot be arsed with a little toad. I really can't. He's an absolute despicable man, and if he's one of the ones who genuinely has led the charge against Gaza on this, the guy should be run out of town with that one, because there's no place for it whatsoever. As I said, this is on the back of, it was a day after Mental Health Awareness Day as well, and it's got, and what I found absolutely hilarious was that the SFA were advertising for a diversity officer as well within that same week as well. You couldn't fucking make that up, could you?
I actually know somebody, Derek, that works in the Scottish Football Museum, very high up. I can't say his name because I've not got his permission to say that, but I've known him for a long time. I've not spoken to him for a while, but I'm actually going to send a wee private message to him just to see if he can give us anything at all on that one, because if it is anything to do, I'm sure he would let me know in a professional way as to even how it works and how the voting works and stuff like that, Derek, to give us a better understanding as to how this decision could have came up. I certainly won't put him in the spot by asking him for specific names or anything like that, but I will be asking him in how the voting works and how much the SFA have, a say in it, and which sort of body has the say in the Hall of Fame, and see how it all works. And it'll be interesting to find out what he says on that.
Yep. So, I mean, it's even drawn, obviously, the ire of major people down south as well. Like, obviously, Vinnie Jones has came out and said, Piers Morgan thinks it's a disgrace. A lot of the English media think it's an absolute disgrace as well. Mm-hmm. So, it's really this and the whole semi-final debacle as well, with the allocation of tickets and where we're going to have the game. It's not really painted Scottish football in a very good light whatsoever. And considering, as I pointed out, the league's very, challenging this year, and it's very competitive so far. So, when we should be talking about football, we're talking about the off-field things with the absolute farcical people that run it. So, anyway, enough of that. Moving from one bit of idiocy front to another. Unfortunately, because we're not going to, shame away from this here, but Ian Durrant was caught on video singing unsavoury comments, shall we say, at a club dinner. Obviously, it's been in the media, so everybody knows what it is. I just don't understand. Firstly, he's at a club dinner representing the club, and he thinks he can get away with singing that in this day and age. Two, the person who filmed it, if they're a Rangers fan, what kind of person are you? Filming it, one of the heroes of Ibrox, and then sending it to the media and posting it online. I've said this time and time again, especially with some of our away fans when they went abroad and they were filming certain things that were getting sung and they shouldn't have put it online, is why you do it. There's no good that's going to come of it. And regardless if it's, not associated with the club directly, the media still paint it in Rangers light. So I just don't understand some fans sometimes. And, it's not to say that the person who's filmed this wasn't a staff member there or was nothing to do with Rangers whatsoever or a fan whatsoever, but the chances are that they are going to be. So just the nonsensicalness of both Durrant in this case and obviously the person who put it online.
I don't know, Derek, if it's maybe been someone thinking that it was funny that it got said, and he sent it off to one of his pals, or he's posted it thinking that people would find it hilarious or whatever it has done it. I'm more annoyed with the likes of Ian Durrant, because Ian Durrant is a bit of a legend at the club, I know, but the fans out there that supported him after his horrific injury and he got back to playing for the first team. He went on to become a coach for us. He was, as you say, he's seen as, Rangers through and through. And I'm more disappointed that he's done this at a function. I would have liked to have thought he'd had a bit more, common sense than that, as you say, especially in this day and age where everything's recorded, especially if you're an ex-Rangers player and you're at these type of nights. There's always going to be people taking pictures and recording you and stuff like that, and I would have just liked to have thought he'd had a bit more common sense. I believe he has came out and apologised for it, Derek.
He has, yeah.
But as you say,
damage is done.
The media in Scotland will not allow him to apologise, and it has been picked up by certain other people. I'll not call her a journalist, but you know who I'm talking about, and this is just exactly the type of stuff that they feed on constantly, isn't it, to make it look as if we're, this anti-Roman Catholicism in Scotland is alive and well, and it's the big bad Rangers and their fans that are feeling it, and all of this. So it does paint the club and the supporters in a bad light, and now it's painting players and ex-players in a bad light, isn't it?
Yep. Just mark this though in terms of, as somebody's pointed out, the media coverage this has got, for a wee unsavoury phrase, compared with the media coverage with an ongoing court case just now from another club who we don't need to name. Now, one of the media outlets, who's not the BBC, who's one of their rivals, has actually used the name of this club, unlike the BBC and all the other media outlets like the Red Tops. They've refused to name the club. So there's clearly not an embargo of saying the name of the club that person was attached to. So look at the media coverage and compare and contrast, because I know which one is a lot less offensive.
Derek, we know that it doesn't compare at all to the absolute atrocity that has happened. But again, we're not going to get into that, but it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that certain media outlets will be jumping on this and using this, because it is going to be painting Rangers in a bad light, but it doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
No. So, getting on to a wee bit more better things here. Scott Arfield has been made the new captain of Canada.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
There you go. And talking of Canada, Rangers have announced a 3-year partnership with Canadian side Montreal Rangers. Rangers soccer schools coaches will go over to Canada, spend some time there, and some of their top players will come over here. I don't know if I can't imagine they'll be playing the first team at all or anything, but they'll be certainly in amongst the training. Excellent. And all that. So it'll certainly enhance our reputation in North America also.
Brilliant.
Yep. Next thing here is Hong Kong-based businessman Barry Scott has rejoined the board. He stepped down as a board member in May to attend to other business affairs, but now he's back to assist Rangers. So
quality, bang, and the dirt is gone.
Oh God.
That had to be done. Sorry, mate. Right, on you go.
On that note. Dave, I think me and you will need to do the tour again, because Rangers have replaced the dugout seats with brand new seats, white piping, right royal blue, with our badge and the Hummel logo on it. Looks absolutely cracking, doesn't it? It
does. Thankfully, Derek, I took some pictures of the old seats with our with our iReady podcast posters on it as well. I actually sent the tweet in. I didn't actually check to see if I got any replies or anything like that, but no, I did see all that, Derek, and it looks fantastic. So it's ongoing development work of the ground, which was really badly needed, Derek, wasn't it? And things are starting to look tip top again. So no, it looks great.
Yep. And talking of work getting done, work on the stand at the Hummel Training Centre will be getting started next month. They're also looking to have an inflatable dome as well to go over one of the pitches, so to make it an indoor pitch. So
cool.
I think that was the Rangers Fans Fighting Fund money.
Yeah, I can remember that. No, that's excellent. No, great stuff.
Yep. Apparently Rangers have won a legal battle with a street vendor over our logo. The trader was trying to stop us trademarking RFC, as he was claiming that rugby football clubs use the same letters. Basically, it was thrown out of court by the judge, and it means we can take any action on any vendor selling knockoff goods with our logo on it. So basically, not official goods. So
okay,
certainly good for money wise for the club.
Yes.
Yep. going back to old things again, Sports Director going back to court over another strip issue. We have no idea what it is this time. Basically, obviously, JD Sports and another Elite Sports, I think it was called, started selling their tops. JD mysteriously then stopped having their tops online, our tops online. Now they're back on sale. Now you've got the tops back in their stores, as well as the retro tops. Grieve Sports now have them actually in shop as well, so certainly go to Grieve's, because they done us a really good turn back in Rangers when the whole boycott thing was going on as well. So certainly head along there if they've still got stock. So I've no idea what's happening now. It's clear that Mike Ashley it's just personal now. It's nothing to do with money. Would you not just cut your losses and you've got another big venture with House of Fraser going on, which I had to laugh, by the way. They're putting in a bid of £95 million for the Buchanan Street one in the House of Fraser, and going to turn it into the Harrods of the North. Your Sports Direct, you buy shitty fucking failing companies with shitty goods, and you set packet high and sell it cheap, so you're not really going to make it the Harrods of the fucking North, are you, arsehole? But
apart from that, you think he's alright?
But certainly, I think this is where I know there's been some issues with strips in terms of deliveries and not getting delivered on time. You were finding them cheaper in some shops, and certain issues were happening with the actual badges coming off the strips and things like that. I think we're just going to need to be patient. The club are doing their best they can. As I said in the last podcast, they're not doing it conventionally for obvious reasons. They're trying to circumvent obvious issues with Sports Direct. That is quite probably what they're going back to court for. We have no idea when it's going to be resolved again, but we'll see in due course.
Yeah.
Bit of bad news here. Graham Dorrans set for more time in the sidelines as he pulled up during the week, and he's set for more surgery. So,
nightmare. He
was just getting back into it, I think, and then he's broke down again. So, not the greatest, is it?
No, definitely not. As you say, we are needing a full squad, Derek, and the fact that we've got Rossiter coming back, who is a good player, is great. Great news for us. But that's a bit a nightmare for Dorrans, because we expected a lot from him last season when he came in. He didn't have a great season. Then he got injured. He was out for most of the season. I don't know what's happened with Ryan Jack, Derek. Is he back and injured again, or was he suspended? Because he's not played in the last few games either. If he's been on the bench, but we definitely need we need to be strong, all over the park, and these are the types of guys that we do need with their experience, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So the last thing I've got here is Chris Boyd will be having a testimonial at Rugby Park and playing a Kilmarnock Heroes 11 versus a Rangers Euro 11. That's on November the 17th. So,
all right.
That's that. He's a arsehole commentator or arsehole pundit, but can't take away from what he done for us as a club.
Yeah, no, I know he scored a hell of a lot of goals for us, Derek, and another player that we just wish would just keep his mouth closed when he's when he's off the park. But no, that should be good, and I'm sure there'll be a few quality ex-players on show for us then.
Yep. So, worker suing Tesco for 20 grand after colleague farted in his face.
Superb, when you go.
A Tesco worker has reportedly taken the supermarket giant to court after a colleague broke wind in his face. Atif Masood, 42, is claiming 20 grand for harassment and racial discrimination which allegedly suffered at the branch of Thornton Heath in South London.
Superb, right?
He claims that the flatulence amounted to bullying and that he's not received an apology from the supermarket.
Oh, superb, man. Brilliant.
He raised an internal grievance, which in February this year found no evidence of racial discrimination. So,
somebody farted on Oh, outstanding. That's the type of stories I like to hear, Derek. That's fucking superb.
So, that kind of wraps up for this week. Nothing too vulgar this week.
No, that was good. I like that one.
No. Yes, so all that's left to say is check us out on Facebook, which is facebook.com/iReadyPod. Our Twitter handle is @iReadyPod. We're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify also. Get out there, retweet us, contact us, get on our website as well, which is ireadypodcast.wordpress.com. Let your friends know about us. We're trying to bump the numbers up and get more listens as well, because we just want to give our opinion out and let you all listen to our shitty banter, as it were. So.
And going by your last story, Derek, literally shitty banter.
Exactly. So, we're hoping for a good result on Thursday night. Dave, are you going to get to see the game?
Unfortunately, I won't be, Derek, so I will be relying on your text messages because I'm working that night, and it couldn't be at a worse time because I have to leave just as the game kicks off, so I'll not get to see any of it at all. But I'll be listening to it on the radio on the way half of the first half, and then I'll have to rely on your good self to keep me updated with what's happening. But I will be recording the game, and I'll get to watch it back at some point before we do the next pod. So as you say, hoping for another fantastic home performance and hopefully another 3 points, and then going into the semi-final at the weekend. I want to get it right up Aberdeen at the weekend, even if we've not got a recognised striker playing. I want us to go out there and absolutely hammer them and get us into the final. So good luck, Gers, keep it going.
Yes, absolutely. So I'll be back with, or should be back with, a post-match reaction pod on YouTube after the game. So thanks for listening and goodbye.
Yep, take care, folks. Thanks for listening, and we'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.